something which is hidden, okay, unspoken, okay, something which is not clear, okay, fine. Now I'll give you little idea, okay, and that is going to be the full on, मतलब वो रूल हर जगह अप्लाई होगा, that's a guarantee. Now let's say, let's talk about argument. Argument is what? Point of view. ये हमने करा है. आर्ग्यूमेंट किस बेसिस पे आती है? थॉट के ऊपर आती है और प्रीमाइस के ऊपर आती है. तो हमने कुछ सोचा और हमने कुछ उसके ऊपर बोला, ठीक है? हमने कुछ सोचा, हमने कुछ बोला, दो चीजें हैं. अब हमने जो सोचा वो है बेसिकली हिडन चीज, वो है हिडन चीज, ठीक है? अब इतना याद रखो कि जो तुमने आर्ग्यूमेंट बोला उससे आएगा कंक्लूजन. फाइन. सबका बेस क्या है? सबका बेस क्या है? तुम्हारा थॉट. व्हाट यू थॉट और व्हाट यू अज्यूम्ड. ठीक है? व्हाट यू थॉट और व्हाट यू अज्यूम्ड. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट आपने एक आर्ग्यूमेंट करा, आपने एक स्टेटमेंट मारा, या फिर आपने एक कंक्लूजन लिया. दोनों भी पॉसिबिलिटी हो सकती है. राइट? नाउ जब बोला जाता है कि भाई कौन सा अजम्पशन है ये आप फाइंड आउट करो, ये अजम्पशन है या ये अजम्पशन, राइट? रिमेंबर, अगर मेरा थॉट जो भी आया मुझे थॉट, राइट, व्हाटएवर थॉट दैट आई हैव, राइट, उसके बेसिस पे मैंने आर्ग्यूमेंट मारा, so that's argument, that argument is correct. अगर ये करेक्ट हुआ तो आर्ग्यूमेंट करेक्ट. अगर ये रॉन्ग हुआ तो आर्ग्यूमेंट भी रॉन्ग. तो मुझे स्टेटमेंट दिया गया है मेरे एग्जाम में और मुझे बोला है कि आपको दो सेंटेंस दिए, बताओ दोनों में से अजम्पशन कौन सा होगा. सिंपल सी बात है, अगर मैं कुछ चीज सोचता हूं और उसके ऊपर कुछ स्टेटमेंट में पास करता हूं, राइट, ये एक डायनामिक हो गया. पर मैं क्या करूंगा, दो ऑप्शन दिए गए हैं आपको, इसका मतलब आपने ये दोनों में से कोई तो दोनों चीजें सोची होगी, या फिर दोनों में से कोई तो एक चीज सोची होगी, या फिर दोनों भी नहीं सोची होगी. बट आप ये पता कैसे करोगे? हाउ यू गोना फाइंड इट आउट दैट यू नो व्हाट दिस इज द करेक्ट assumption? So what I do, I go ahead with negation. What I do, I go ahead with negation. It means if this is correct, if my thought is correct, if my assumption is correct, my statement will be correct. But if I negate my assumption, अगर मैं मेरे assumption, जो मेरा thought है, my thought is nothing but my assumption, अगर मैं मेरे assumption को उल्टा कर देता हूं, when I negate my assumption, and even after negating my assumption, if my main statement doesn't get hit or doesn't get shattered or doesn't have any impact, then that cannot be an assumption. But अगर मैं given statement दोनों में से किसी को भी अगर मैं नेगेट करता हूं, पॉजिटिव को नेगेटिव, नेगेटिव को पॉजिटिव करता हूं, और वो करने की वजह से अगर मेरा मेन स्टेटमेंट को हिट होता है, मेन स्टेटमेंट चेंज होता है, उसका मीनिंग चेंज हो जाता है, इफ दैट चेंजेस, इट मीन्स this is, let's say Rajan is going to score 99 percentile in CAT. Let's take an example, right? Rajan is going to, एक ये कमेंट मारा किसी ने, तो ये कमेंट मैंने मारा, ठीक है? I am a faculty, I know him very well, he's a very good guy, very hardworking. So I say Rajan is going to score 99 percentile in CAT. This is my statement. ये statement जो मैंने मारा, whatever this statement I have just made, definitely there is an assumption to it. There is a thought to it. Because whatever we say on a daily basis, Whenever we pass on a comment, there is a hidden assumption behind it. The only thing is that how correct is that assumption. Now, मेरे पास दो assumption है. मेरे पास दो assumption है. पहली बात, assumption number 1. Srajan has always scored, or I would say Srajan has significantly or continuously been scoring 99 percentile in mocks. Assumption 1. Assumption 2. Srajan is very intellectual when it comes to an aptitude test. ये दो assumption है मेरा main statement क्या है? Srajan is going to score 99 percentile. ये किसके basis पे मैंने comment मारा? I have two statements. Number 1 statement that Srajan has always been scoring 99 percentile in all the mocks. Number 1. Number 2. Srajan is a talented guy when it comes to an aptitude test. Now what I'm going to do is I need to understand which one is a valid assumption. So I'm going to do negation. Statement 1, which is Srajan has always scored 99, or Srajan used to score 99 percentile in all the CAT mocks. I'm going to negate this. The negation is Srajan has never scored 99 in any of the mock. So the moment I negate my assumption, so if I negate it, अगर मैं उसको उल्टा करूँ, क्या मेरा main statement valid रहेगा? If I negate my assumption, will my main statement be a valid statement? No. It means assumption 1 is the correct one. Is this clear? Srajan has scored 99 in all. Is this clear? It means, so the moment I negate my assumption, so if I negate it, अगर मैं उसको उल्टा करूँ, क्या मेरा main statement valid रहेगा? If I negate my assumption, will my main statement be a valid statement? No. It means assumption 1 is the correct one. Is this clear? It means the assumption that Srajan has scored 99 in all the mock is correct, because when I negated, my main statement also changes. Logic है, जब तुमने सोचा ही कुछ है, उस सोच के ऊपर, उस थॉट के ऊपर तुमने स्टेटमेंट मारा, तो जब तुम्हारी सोच उल्टी होगी तो वो मेन स्टेटमेंट भी उल्टा होना चाहिए. और अगर तुम्हारा मेन स्टेटमेंट उल्टा नहीं हुआ, इसका मतलब उस स्टेटमेंट का और तुम्हारे assumption का कोई सवाल, मतलब कोई कनेक्शन ही नहीं है. Fine. I'll give you second statement. Srajan is not at all talented whenever it comes to an aptitude test. So second statement को मैंने जब change करा, negate करा, तो मेरा main statement हिल गया. If he has not, if you are saying that he is not a talented guy in the aptitude test, then how can you say that he will score 99%? It means second is also correct assumption. And what was the main statement? The statement was, yes, he is a talented guy when it comes to aptitude. Are yes or no? And then I give you third statement. The third statement is, let's say Srajan has a talented girlfriend. अब मैं उसको उल्टा करता हूं. Srajan does not have a talented girlfriend. इसको जब मैं उल्टा करूंगा, तब मेन स्टेटमेंट पे कुछ इंपैक्ट होगा क्या? नहीं ना. मतलब वो गर्लफ्रेंड वाला जो सेंटेंस है इज नॉट एन अजम्पशन. बस इतना फंडा मेरा याद रखना, आप लोग आग लगा दोगे अजम्पशन में. ठीक है, फाइन. You just have to remember one rule of negation. Fine. This is right. So this is a small example for assumption. You can solve n number of questions that you want on the basis of assumption. ठीक है, चलो मैं अभी ना आपको एक छोटा सा एक क्वेश्चन मैं आपको यहाँ पे देता हूँ. ठीक है, one question. मैं ज्यादा नहीं, पूरा नहीं लिखूंगा. Just going to be very cut short. So in recent, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आप लिख लो. My handwriting is like it's pathetic. Recently there was a conference. Okay, I'm just gonna write. There was a conference. What was the conference? The conference was, the topic was management of सर्विस सेक्टर. ओके, ध्यान से सुनो. Recently there was a conference. The conference name was Management of Service Sector, and this conference got surprisingly more number of participants. Okay, ठीक है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ story. There is a conference. The conference was held in some part of the country. The theme of the conference or the topic of the conference was Management of Service Sector, and surprisingly this conference got an amazing response from the public. ये मेरा main statement है. Number one. And चलो इसको और एक change कर देते हैं. So there was a conference based on a topic called as Management of Service Sector, and surprisingly this conference got an amazing response from public all over the country and also very good media coverage. Okay, surprisingly, क्या मेरा surprisingly public response and media coverage. ठीक है, assumption number one, media is always very positive towards service sector. ये मेरा assumption one. दूसरा, people were not, let's say, expecting amazing response. ठीक है, ये मेरा स्टेटमेंट है. मेन स्टेटमेंट है मेरा कि यार देयर वाज अ कॉन्फ्रेंस बेस्ड ऑन सर्विस सेक्टर, बट अमेजिंग रिस्पांस, सरप्राइजिंगली वेल रिस्पांस फ्रॉम पब्लिक एंड मीडिया कवरेज. नाउ रिमेंबर, जब मैं यूज करता हूँ वर्ड ऑलवेज, ऑलवेज इज एन एक्सट्रीम वर्ड. ऑलवेज, फॉर द फैक्ट इट इज एन एक्सट्रीम वर्ड, इट कैनॉट बी एन assumption. Please listen to me very carefully. Always cannot be an assumption, because if media always gives you a good response, then why the hell you will be surprised when you get media coverage? You should not be surprised, right? Because आपको तो पता था ये होने ही वाला है. Fine. Number one. So always वगैरह कभी भी लिखा होगा, that's out. An extreme sentence can never be an assumption. Number two, people were not expecting such kind of response. Now I'm going to negate it. The negation will be people were expecting such kind of response. So when I say people were expecting such kind of response, will my main statement get a good hit? Will my main statement get a little bit shattered? So when I say that people were expecting such kind of response, then my main statement gets a little bit hit, because मेरा main statement पूरा हिल जाएगा. Because अगर आप, if people were expecting, like जो भी वहाँ पे लोग आए हैं, if they were expecting a good response, then why you should get surprised, right? मतलब जब मैं इस sentence को negate करता हूँ, opposite बनाता हूँ, because of which मेरा main statement का meaning change हो जाता है, मतलब ये मेरा assumption है. ये समझा? ये समझा? इट इज एज सिंपल एज दैट. इससे सिंपल कुछ नहीं होगा. और इसी को उल्टा पुल्टा बना के बोलेंगे इम्प्लिसिट assumption क्या है, बताओ. ये होता है इम्प्लिसिट assumption, और कुछ नहीं होता सर.
And today we're going to do a topic called as statement and assumption. It's one of the important topic for all the exams that we actually go for. It can be MB, or let's say Bank PO, CAT and Maths, NABs, at all the exams. Now, the problem here is that assumption is actually a part of critical reasoning. And the major problem with assumption is actually a accuracy, because a lot of times students are complaining saying that accuracy is not happening as far as assumption is concerned. And assumption actually forms a part of critical reasoning. And when you talk about critical reasoning, when you see these kind of words in your assumption statement, this statement negative, positive to negative, negative to positive. If this has an impact on my main statement, then this can be a correct assumption. It means if I am saying exams, okay, mostly asked across the exams, so करना पड़ेगा, right? Conclusion, simple सी बात है, it's fact driven, ठीक है, it's data driven. Eventually मैं आपको rules बताने जाऊंगा, कहां पे कंक्लूजन अप्लाई होता है, कहां पे कंक्लूजन अप्लाई नहीं होता, ठीक है, फाइन. चलिए शुरू करते हैं. पहला सवाल पेश है आपकी कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन पर, ठीक है. सर बहुत मूड में है, आज खाना जल्दी खा लिया भाई. आज खाना जल्दी खा लिया. चलो चैट बॉक्स किधर है, इधर ही है. हाँ जी, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 क्या है आंसर? जो म्यूट पे नहीं है वो म्यूट पे चले जाओ. Wind is an inexhaustible source of energy and an aero generator can convert it into electricity. Okay. Though not much has been done in this field, the survey shows that there is vast potential for developing wind as alternative source of energy, which is true, which is reality. Conclusion: energy by wind is comparatively newly emerging field. Newly emerging field. Okay. Okay. The energy crisis can be dealt by exploring more in the field of aero generation. Okay. Okay, understood this also. It's a very simple thing. Tell me, what can be the answer? What can be the answer? Arey yaar, what's wrong with this? Okay, okay. B for Bombay. अच्छा. D कैसे आया भाई? D कैसे आया? D तो होगा ही नहीं. हाँ, थोड़ा संभल के सोच समझ के आंसर दो. B for Bombay. Only conclusion 2 follows. Okay. Why not 1? क्या बोला है? Energy by wind is comparatively new emerging field. देखो ना यहाँ पे क्या बोला है? The survey shows that there's a vast potential. Okay, and not much has been done. So it's a newly thing which is coming into the picture now. So A follows and B follows. Rather, first and the second both follows. So the answer will be E for echo. Okay, जो डेटा दिया है उससे driven A भी है, so driven A भी है. Okay, straight statements. The government will review the present policy of the diesel price in view of further spurt in the international oil prices. ये मेरे ख्याल से करंट अफेयर है. Even today this is the same thing which is happening. That we are not sure what's going to happen with the sort of prices, right? The government will review the present policy of the diesel price in view of further spurt in the international oil prices. Okay. The government will increase the price of the diesel after the minimum. Okay. The government will not increase. Bullshit. क्या आएगा इसका आंसर? क्या आएगा इसका आंसर? क्या आएगा इसका आंसर? The government will review the present policy of the diesel price in view of further spurt. अच्छा. The government will review the present policy of the diesel price in view of further spurt in the international oil prices. Okay. Okay. Number 1, the government will increase the price of the diesel after the imminent spurt in the international price. The government will not increase, decrease. ठीक है? Either follow. एक तो गवर्नमेंट ये करेगा या फिर गवर्नमेंट ये करेगा. एक तो गवर्नमेंट प्राइसेस बढ़ा देगा या फिर गवर्नमेंट प्राइसेस घटा देगा. और क्या ही करेगा गवर्नमेंट, राइट? कॉमन सेंस. ओके. नॉट इंक्रीज मतलब वो स्टेबल होगा ना. नॉट इंक्रीज डिक्रीज भी हो सकता है, फिर स्टेबल भी हो सकता है. डिक्रीज नहीं आएगा, स्टेबल ही आएगा. ठीक है? एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस? आर यू ऑल गुड? आर यू ऑल गुड? Okay, चलो. Number 3, America's defense secretary reiterated मतलब वापस बोला that they would continue to supply arms to Pakistan. Holy fucking shit, you Americans America's Defense Secretary added that they would continue to supply arms to Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan is incapable of manufacturing arms. These. Gosh, should I say it? Okay, let's not say it. Okay, these dumb fucks can't even produce a छोटा सा सुई, right? तो ये क्या ही मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करेंगे आर्म्स? It would ensure peace in the region. हाँ जी, कुछ भी? America's secretary reiterated that they would continue to supply arms to Pakistan. सी कैसे होगा? ये तुम लोग कहाँ से, मतलब क्या खाना ज्यादा हो गया क्या तुमको? सी कैसे आएगा भाई? हाँ, they would continue to supply arms to Pakistan. पीस कैसे होगा भाई? आपको पद्म भूषण देना चाहिए. मस्ती कर रहा हूँ, दिल पे मत लेना, ठीक है? सी कैसे होगा? Right? Pakistan is incapable of manufacturing arms. This is an assumption. This is an assumption. And this thing, which is given here, is nonsense. Answer will be D for delta. Okay? Simple. ठीक है, यही लेवल आएगा तुम्हारा स्नैप एंड मैट में. टाइम कम होगा तो थोड़ा सा प्रेशर बनेगा, और प्रेशर में गलत मार्क मत करना. Today, out of the world population of several thousand millions, the majority of men have to live under governments which refuse them personal liberty and right to dissent. Today, out of the world, 7,000 million, which is 7 billion by the way, the majority of men have to live under governments which refuse them personal liberty and the right to dissent. Okay? People are indifferent to personal liberty and the right to dissent. Okay, I'm cliche, huh? People desire personal liberty and the right to dissent. हाँ, सही बात है. Conclusion, B follows. People are indifferent. This is an assumption. सबको हक है ना यार, लिबर्टी से जीने का, right? So that's basically B for Bombay. चलो, statement 5. The Prime Minister emphatically stated that his government will make every possible effort for the upliftment of poor farmers and farmhands. They always say that, but they don't do shit about farmers, man. Except poor farmers and farmhands, all other have got benefit of fruits of development. Assumption. No serious efforts have been made in the past for upliftment of any section of the society. Oh, ये कुछ ज्यादा हो गया. कैसे बेटा? नो सीरियस एफर्ट्स कैसे बोल सकते हो आप? हाँ, इस गवर्नमेंट विल मेक एवरी पॉसिबल एफर्ट्स. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि एफर्ट्स डाले ही नहीं, ऐसे नहीं बोलेगा. हाँ, पॉलिटिशियन को बुरा लगेगा. D for delta, neither follows. Although the education system has progressed from the point of view of the number of schools, most of them are ill-equipped and have not achieved excellence in imparting education. Couple of points you need to mark down. Education system has progressed from the point of view of the number of schools. Progressed by point of view of the number of schools. It's okay. But they have not achieved excellence. In future, we should provide good teachers and equipment to those schools. Okay. We need not open any more schools in the future. It's out. Anyway, this is out. Question number 6. What follows? 1 follows. Straightforward. Guys, इसमें किसी को doubt है? इसमें किसी को doubt है?
अभ्यास करती हो?
Any doubt?
एग्जाम तर झाली ना.
सीईटी ब्रो.
हो?
सीईटी.
सीईटी कशासाठी असतं?
एमबीए.
नहीं, D नहीं आएगा. D नहीं आएगा. क्या बोला है? हमारे पास नंबर ऑफ स्कूल्स तो बहुत ज्यादा है, पर इक्विपमेंट्स अच्छे नहीं है और एक्सेलेंट एजुकेशन हम बच्चों को नहीं दे पाते हैं. तो वी नीड नॉट टू ओपन एनी मोर स्कूल्स इन फ्यूचर. ये तो ऑप्शन एनीवे दिस इज लाइक अ लेम ऑप्शन, बिकॉज यू कांट से दैट कि हमने यहाँ पे ये नहीं बोला कि हमने सफिशिएंट अमाउंट ऑफ स्कूल्स ओपन करे हैं. राइट, सही बकवास है. In future, we should provide good teachers and equipment to those schools. ये इसका कंक्लूजन है बेसिकली. बिकॉज ये क्या बोलता है, इल इक्विप्ड हमने चीजें दी है और अच्छा एजुकेशन हम नहीं दे पा रहे, तो हमें फ्यूचर में उनको एक अच्छा एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करना जरूरी है. दैट इज द रीजन वी विल से दैट इसका कंक्लूजन ये होगा कि हमें उनको एक अच्छा एजुकेशन और अच्छे टीचर्स देने हैं. राइट, ये काइंड ऑफ कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन भी लगेगा, बट दैट्स द कंक्लूजन. दैट्स व्हाट यू कैन कंक्लूड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे. Statement 7. Leaders who raise much there's much human cry about the use of Hindi generally send their children to English medium. This is very true, yeah. This is very true. It's not only leaders, even normal public does the same stuff. Okay, I'm definitely going to send my kids to Marathi medium. that's for sure. So India lacks good Hindi medium schools. Bakwas. There is a world of difference between preaching and practicing. Okay. India lacks good Hindi medium schools. There is a world of difference between preaching and practicing. Preaching and practicing. I can say this is yes. But I cannot say one, yeah. It is Suresh. I cannot say this would be a conclusion. It's probably a hidden assumption. But actually, this is not even mentioned. They have not mentioned about the quality of Hindi medium schools, yeah? So I'll probably go with... I'll probably go with B for Bombay. Probably go for D for Bombay because it talks about preaching and practicing. और यहाँ पे बोला है यूज ऑफ हिंदी के ऊपर ये लोग बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेस करते हैं. ये खुद बोलते हैं आपको हिंदी यूज करना चाहिए, पर जनरली यही लोग अपने बच्चों को भेजते हैं इंग्लिश मीडियम में. I'll go with second. That you can practice, that you can understand the difference between preaching and practice. It's coming directly from the statement. Number 8. Government has spoiled many top-ranking financial institutions. Holy yes. Government has spoiled many top-ranking financial institutions by appointing bureaucrats as director of these institutions. Very true. Very true. I can go on, like I can give you 2 hours lectures on this. Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers का case study है, but this is very true, man. This is very true. Government should appoint directors of financial institutions taking into consideration the experience of the person in the area of finance. Okay, the financial institutions have expertise commensurate with the financial work carried out by the institute. I'll go with dono follows. I'll go with dono follows. Okay, government क्या बोला है? Government spoiled many top-ranking financial institutions by appointing bureaucrats as director of these institutions. ठीक है, तो इन लोगों ने क्या करा? Spoil करा किसको? फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट्स को. क्यों? अपॉइंट किसको करा? ब्यूरोक्रेट्स को किया. अब कंक्लूजन, okay, government should appoint directors of the financial institutes taking into consideration the expertise of person in the area of finance. अगर वो अच्छा है, उसकी एक्सपर्टीज है, तो उसको आप अपॉइंट करो. राइट. The director of the financial institute should have expertise commensurate with the financial work carried out by the institute. जो work तुम्हारा financial institute करता है, उसमें उस बंदे की expertise होनी चाहिए. So we can conclude these 2 things. That these 2 things should be done by the government. So if they do it, they will not be spoiling the top-ranking financial institutions. I'll go for E for echo. Any questions, guys? हाँ, ये course of action भी हो सकता है. इसके option थोड़े lame लगे मुझे. Course of action भी हो सकता है. नहीं बेटा, इधर नहीं आएगा. दोनों में अलग अलग चीजें हैं. दोनों में अलग अलग चीजें हैं.
No tampering of balls.
Recent trends also indicate that the number of child migrants in large cities is increasing. These children leave their families to join the ranks of urban poor doing odd jobs in markets, workshop, hotel or so. Okay, these children leave their families to join ranks of urban poor doing odd jobs in markets, workshop, ticket. What was the answer? What do you think? E for echo. Okay. प्रॉब्लम क्या है यहाँ पे? प्रॉब्लम क्या है? इंक्रीज माइग्रेशन ऑफ चाइल्ड माइग्रेंट्स. हाँ, राइट. इसे कंक्लूड क्या कर सकते हैं? The plight of poor children.
इसकी मामू बोल वाला है.
चलो. I cannot say this would be a conclusion. Okay. The financial institution have expertise commensurate with the financial. Okay. Government should appoint directors of the financial institutes, taking into consideration. Yeah, should be done by the government. So if they do it, recent trends also indicate that the number of child migrants in large cities is increasing. These children leave their families to join the ranks of urban poor doing odd jobs in markets, workshop, hotel, or so. Okay, these children leave their families to join ranks of urban poor doing odd jobs in markets, workshop, ticket. What was the answer? What do you think? E for echo. Okay. प्रॉब्लम क्या है यहाँ पे? प्रॉब्लम क्या है? इंक्रीज माइग्रेशन ऑफ चाइल्ड माइग्रेंट्स. हाँ, राइट. इसे कंक्लूड क्या कर सकते हैं? The plight of poor children out. Poor बोला ही नहीं है. Okay. Migration to big cities should be checked. Can this follow? हाँ, D बराबर है. Not mention of poor. There is no mention of poor child. That's right. Is it practical even to check? Right? I'll go with D. It follows. Okay. Next. Although we have rating agencies like CRISIL, ICRA, there is demand to have a separate rating agency for IT companies to protect investors. Okay. Assessment of financial worth of IT companies calls for a separate set of skills, insights, and competencies. Yes. Now the investors investing in IT companies will get protection of their investment. इन्वेस्टमेंट के बारे में बात करा है क्या? नहीं, रेटिंग के बारे में बात करा है ना, तो भाई only one follows. Guys, is this clear? This is very easy, by the way. ये मॉक्स में भी आपको ऐसे सिंपल टाइप के क्वेश्चंस ही आते होंगे, पर थोड़ा दिमाग लगा के करोगे तो बेटर होगा. अगले टाइम थोड़े से टफ क्वेश्चन करेंगे. पैसेज वाले क्वेश्चंस करेंगे थोड़ा अगली बार. बट इन्वेस्टर्स इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं. हाँ, तो now investors investing in IT companies will get protection of their investment. Is there anything wrong with investment? No. बोला क्या है? All the way rating agencies like CRISIL and ICRA. बोला है क्या they are not doing their job? No. बोला क्या they second their job? No. There's a demand to have a separate rating agency of IT companies to protect investors. ठीक है, understood. To protect investors. Very good. Now, the investors investing in IT companies will get protection of their investment. Now, we cannot conclude this actually. It's very subjective. But हाँ, आप ये बोल सकते हो, assessment of financial worth of IT companies calls for a separate set of skills in certain companies, which is very true. Which is very true. Right? So, my answer will be A for apple. Riddle number 11. Domestic demand has been increasing faster than the production of indigenous crude oil. Demand higher than the production. Okay. Crude oil must be imported. Domestic demand should be reduced. Domestic demand has been increasing faster than the production of indigenous. Demand बढ़ रहा है तो import कर सकते हैं हाँ जी ठीक है and domestic demand should be reduced. Probably can do that. I'll go with C. Either you do this or either you do this. I'll go with C. I'll go with C. एक तो तुम डिमांड को कम कर दो या डिमांड मीटअप करने के लिए तुम उसको इंपोर्ट बढ़ा दो बात खत्म दोनों चीजें कंक्लूड हो सकती हैं इसमें से Number 12, he stressed the need to stop the present examination system and its replacement by other methods which would measure the real merit of the students. Stop the present examination system and its replacement by other methods. Examination should be abolished. Bullshit. The present examination system does not measure TKB for Bombay. Understood? Until a country achieves economic quality, political freedom, and democracy would be meaningless. Political freedom and democracy go hand in hand. Economic quality leads to real political freedom. Right. I'll go with second. डिमांड को कैसे रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं डिमांड को रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं बाय गिविंग द अल्टरनेटिव या बाय डूइंग एनीथिंग बाय रिक्वेस्टिंग व्हाटएवर okay I think 13 questions are more than enough to understand statement conclusion. Now you tell me what are your problems. Now you tell me what are your problems. Where do you go wrong as far as the conclusion is concerned. आप कहाँ गलतियां करते हो वो मुझे बताओ ये चीजें बहुत इजी है इसमें ऐसा कुछ तोफ चीज नहीं है पॉलिटिकल फ्रीडम एंड डेमोक्रेसी को हैंड इन हैंड तुम कैसे बोल सकते हो इकोनॉमिक क्वालिटी एंड डेमोक्रेसी एंड पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में बात करिए ना तो खाली एक चीज के बारे में बात नहीं कर सकते बोथ और इधर में कंफ्यूज हो सकता है बोथ और इधर में कंफ्यूजन होता है बेटा तुमने मेरा कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन का लेक्चर बैठा है बेटा तुमने मेरा कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन का लेक्चर बैठा है तो वहां पे मैंने एक्सप्लेन करा है ना बोथ एंड इधर assumption मतलब possibility हाँ बेटा वो इसको भी अप्लाई होता है इसमें तुम एक बात कर सकते हो कि इधर जो होता है ना वो कॉन्ट्रास्ट होगा इधर जो कॉन्ट्रास्ट होगा मतलब अगर तुम बोलते ए को कंप्यूट करके तो बी कंप्यूट नहीं हो सकता बी को ए नहीं हो सकता इधर दोनों साथ में नहीं आ सकते और बोथ का तो मैंने अभी आपको दिखा दिया बोथ का क्या सीन अभी हमने करी थी तब इसके आंसर्स भी कभी हो जाते हैं कभी हो जाते हैं यस कभी हो जाते हैं did you get same questions in mocks do you get same questions in mocks same type of questions mocks में आते हैं इसे पता है मॉक्स दिया है किसी ने अयो बच्चा लोग टाइमर का खेल है क्या बात होगी 100 बात की बात यू गेट सेम टाइप क्वेश्चंस या मोर देन दिस सेम लेवल ना अच्छा ओके अगर क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग इजी है कोडिंग है कैसे अच्छे से कर लो बेटर होगा चलो ठीक है दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड एज फार एज द लेक्चर सेक्शन